There's a certain scent that makes people judge you, even when you've done nothing wrong. Most won't say anything, but they notice, quietly. And then one day you start noticing it too. It's not the smell of perfume, nor the typical body odor we're used to. It's faint, subtle, yet persistent. And strangely, it becomes more noticeable with age. I've experienced that unsettling feeling myself. You shower daily, wear clean clothes, maybe even use a little cologne, but there's still something different. A lingering scent that doesn't feel like you. At first, I thought it was just in my head, but then I realized this isn't about hygiene. It's about how our bodies change as we get older, silently, gradually, and in ways we rarely talk about. What's frustrating is that people often assume it means you're not clean. That assumption hurts, but the truth is far more human, and today I want to talk to you about it. Because once you understand what's really going on, everything changes. You stop blaming yourself. You start caring for yourself gently and wisely. And if anything I share here feels familiar to you or reminds you of someone you love, leave a comment below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if you think these kinds of quiet, honest conversations matter, feel free to follow the channel so we can continue them week by week. Now then, let's begin. Most people think that if an older adult carries a certain smell, it must be because they don't shower enough. But the truth is, the human body doesn't work the same at 65 as it did at 25. One of the lesser-known changes is how we sweat, or more accurately, how we stop sweating as much. You'd think less sweat means fewer smells, right? But it's actually the opposite. Sweating isn't just about cooling the body, it's also a natural way to eliminate toxins. When you sweat less, especially as you get older, your body loses one of its key cleansing systems. That means more metabolic waste stays on the skin, building up slowly and mixing with the natural oils and dead skin cells that are already there. The result? A faint but persistent scent that no soap can completely wash away. And unfortunately, many people around us notice it before we do. Another big reason behind the shift in scent has to do with the skin itself. As we age, our skin becomes thinner, drier, and less oily. That may sound like a good thing. Less oil, less greasy feeling. But those oils used to play a protective role. They helped shed bacteria, carried away odors, and formed a barrier against environmental pollutants. Without them, the skin becomes more vulnerable. And here's where it gets scientific. When the few remaining fatty acids on the skin's surface get exposed to oxygen, they produce a compound called nonanol. It's this compound, completely natural by the way, that gives off the waxy, grassy, or old smell often associated with aging. It's stubborn. You can scrub all you want, but regular soap and water won't do much to remove it. Lastly, there's a factor people rarely think about: the mouth. More specifically, the lack of moisture inside it. As we get older, our salivary glands slow down. The result? A dry mouth, and with it, an environment where odor-causing bacteria thrive. You might think this only affects breath, but in truth, oral bacteria can contribute to a person's overall scent. If you've ever noticed that someone has a musty or sour smell around their face, even if they seem well-groomed, there's a good chance it starts in the mouth. Saliva is nature's mouthwash. It cleans, it flushes, it protects. When it's gone, bacteria take over. So the scent of aging isn't about poor hygiene. It's about subtle, natural changes inside the body. But once we understand what's happening beneath the surface, we can begin to take practical steps. And that starts not just with our bodies, but with something equally important: the space around us. Because smell doesn't live only on the skin. It lingers in the clothes we wear, settles into our sheets, and drifts through the very air we breathe. Let's start with clothing. What we wear becomes a second skin, and it absorbs more than we think. Sweat, dead skin cells, natural oils, all of it clings to fabric fibers, especially underwear, shirts, and anything that stays close to the body for hours at a time. That's why washing clothes regularly, especially the layers closest to your skin, is essential, not just for hygiene, but to prevent the buildup of lingering odors. And here's something people often overlook. Synthetic fabrics tend to trap odor more than natural ones. Switching to breathable cotton, especially for undergarments, can make a bigger difference than most people realize. Cotton lets your skin breathe, it absorbs moisture better, and it lets the fabric release the odor more easily when washed. But even clean clothes can pick up scents if they're stored in stuffy closets or drawers that never get aired out. That's why it helps to hang clothes in sunlight when possible. Just 10 to 15 minutes of natural sunlight can do wonders, not just for drying, but for killing odor-causing bacteria. Sunlight, in a way, is the original disinfectant. Then there's our bedding, the place where our skin rests for hours, night after night. Pillowcases, sheets, blankets. They all collect oil, sweat, even traces of non-anal, that stubborn compound produced by aging skin. So if you go to bed clean, but wake up feeling not so fresh, the answer might be hiding in your pillow. Ideally, pillowcases should be changed 2 to 3 times a week, especially if you sweat at night or have oilier skin. Sheets and blankets should be washed at least once a week. And old pillows? If they've been around for years and feel flat or smell musty, it might be time to let them go. No one likes throwing out the pillow they've grown attached to, but sometimes freshness means starting new. Beyond what we wear and where we sleep, the air itself plays a role. Body odor, even faint, can linger in enclosed spaces, especially in rooms that don't get regular airflow. That's why it's important to ventilate your home daily. It doesn't take much. Just open windows in the morning and evening for 10 to 15 minutes. Let the old air escape and let new clean air in. If your home doesn't have good natural ventilation, consider placing bowls of baking soda or activated charcoal in corners of rooms. These simple materials quietly absorb odors and moisture without adding any artificial scent. Bathrooms and kitchens need even more care. They're hotspots for humidity and hidden smells. A simple fan or open window can make all the difference over time. And remember, the more we let air move, the less stagnant our environment feels and smells. You see, keeping a fresh scent isn't just about what we do with our bodies. It's also about respecting the space we live in. When your clothes, your sheets, and the air around you feel clean, your whole self feels lighter. And as we age, that kind of comfort, quiet, invisible, but deeply felt, is something we absolutely deserve. Even if your home is fresh and your clothes are clean, there's one more place that often holds on to scent more than anything else: your own skin. And the way we bathe, how often, how carefully, and where we focus can make all the difference. That's why I want to introduce a simple method I call the Triple S wash. It's not a fancy product or expensive routine. It's just 3 areas of your body that, when cleaned properly, help reduce the scent of aging more effectively than most people realize. The first S is for skin folds, the warm, tucked away parts of your body where skin touches skin. Think under the arms, behind the knees, under the breasts, between the thighs, around the neck. These areas often go unnoticed, but they trap moisture and heat, creating the perfect environment for bacteria to grow and for odor-causing compounds like non-anal to accumulate. So when you shower, don't just do a quick rinse. Pay gentle, focused attention to these folds, not with harsh scrubbing, but with warm water and a mild, non-drying soap. Gently wash, then make sure to dry these areas completely afterward. Dampness is the enemy here. The second S is for the scalp. Hair, especially thick or longer hair, can hold on to smells more than you think. Many people, especially men, tend to quickly rinse their head or run their fingers through their hair in the shower without really washing it. But if you've ever gone a few days without a proper shampoo, you'll know how much the scalp can trap oil, sweat, and lingering odors. That's why it's important to use your fingertips, not your nails, to gently massage the scalp in small circles as you shampoo. Focus not just on the hair, but on the skin beneath it. A clean scalp helps reduce overall body odor more than most people realize. The third S is for sweaty spots, especially the feet and palms. Our feet, confined in shoes and socks all day, are filled with sweat glands. So are our palms, which we often forget about. When not washed thoroughly, these areas can become sources of strong, sour odors, even if the rest of your body feels clean. When showering, take a moment to scrub between your toes, the soles of your feet, and your palms. These small steps can lead to a surprising difference in how fresh you feel throughout the day. But beyond what you clean, how you clean matters too. As we age, our skin becomes more delicate, and harsh soaps or hot water can strip away the natural oils that actually help protect us. Instead, opt for warm water, never too hot, and gentle, fragrance-free cleansers that won't irritate or dry out your skin. After you've rinsed thoroughly, pat your skin dry with a soft towel. Don't rub. Pay special attention to drying those skin folds in between your toes. And while your skin is still slightly damp, apply a mild, non-greasy moisturizer. This helps lock in hydration and keeps your skin smooth, soft, and protected. You don't need expensive body washes or strong deodorants. What your body needs most is consistency, care, and attention to the spots we so often forget. Because when the skin is truly clean, not just rinsed but cared for, everything else starts to feel lighter. Caring for your skin on the outside is essential, but it's only half the story. Because no matter how carefully you wash or moisturize, if your body is overwhelmed from the inside, that imbalance will eventually show up on the surface. And this is where lifestyle quietly takes the stage. The simple, everyday choices that help your body cleanse itself from within. The kind of habits that don't cost anything, but change everything. Let's begin with something deceptively basic: drinking enough water. Many people assume they're drinking plenty, but in reality they're sipping tea, coffee, or soda, none of which truly hydrate. What your body needs is clean, preferably warm water. Hydration isn't just about quenching thirst. It's one of the most powerful tools for helping your liver and kidneys flush out toxins. When that process slows down, the body tries to get rid of waste through other means, like the skin. That's why even a faint body odor can often be traced back to poor hydration. One simple habit? Start your day with a glass of warm water on an empty stomach. Then keep a rhythm. One before meals, one in the afternoon, one before bed. Small sips, not gulps. Think of it as internal bathing. Next, let's talk about sunlight. It might sound unrelated, but brief exposure to early morning or late afternoon sunlight actually helps the skin in more ways than one. Sunlight can reduce odor-causing bacteria on the surface of the skin. It boosts your mood, strengthens your immune system, and helps regulate your body's rhythms. Of course, we're not talking about hours in the sun or sunbathing like in youth. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day with light clothing and a bit of sunscreen can offer gentle, healing benefits. Then there's what you eat. The more colorful your plate, the better your skin will smell. Foods rich in antioxidants, like tomatoes, leafy greens, apples, and berries, help fight oxidation inside the body. That means fewer of those pesky compounds like nonenal forming on the skin. Garlic, surprisingly, despite its strong taste, actually helps deodorize the body once digested. And fiber? It keeps your gut healthy, your digestion regular, and your system clean from the inside out. A healthy gut equals a cleaner body, equals a fresher scent. And finally, we come to something most people forget when thinking about body odor: oral hygiene. The mouth may be small, but it plays a big role in how others perceive our scent. As we age, we produce less saliva, and that creates a perfect environment for odor-causing bacteria. Brushing after every meal helps, but so does flossing, cleaning the tongue daily, and drinking water throughout the day to stay moist. If possible, chew sugar-free gum or suck on a thin slice of lemon to stimulate natural saliva. You might be surprised how much your breath contributes to your overall body scent. When you look at all these habits, hydration, sunlight, food, oral care, they may seem small, but together they work in harmony. Like a quiet orchestra, each part playing its role to help your body feel lighter, cleaner, more at ease. And that in turn helps you move through the world with confidence. Not because you're trying to cover anything up, but because you're simply in balance with yourself. After everything we've explored, the science, the habits, the spaces we live in, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But if there's one thing I've learned, it's this: growing older doesn't mean giving up control. On the contrary, it's a quiet invitation to tune in more closely, to pay attention to the things we once overlooked. A scent isn't just a smell. Sometimes it's a memory, a feeling, a reflection of the life we live, the care we give ourselves, the love we feel, or forget to feel for our own body. When I first noticed these changes in myself, I felt embarrassed. I pulled away a little. I thought it meant I was fading somehow. But in time, I realized that the changes weren't signs of decline. They were reminders. Reminders that this body has carried me far, that it speaks gently when something is out of balance. And if I listen, really listen, it teaches me how to take care of myself in ways I never had to before. So if today's video helps shed some light on something you've quietly wondered about, know that this is just one of many stories we explore here. Aging brings questions, some practical, some emotional, and each video on this channel is made with one simple goal: to help you feel a little more informed, a little more understood, and a little more at ease. So if you found this helpful, I invite you to keep watching. There's a whole library of quiet conversations waiting about health, self-care, confidence, and the quiet wisdom that comes with age. Take your time. Watch what speaks to you. I'll be here.